Hello. Welcome to Sometimes
Hello.
Video Games. This is a podcast episode of
Hi.
things. Hi. How are you doing? I'm Adam. As usual, I am joined by Charlie Walsh. You okay, Charlie? How are you?
I'm alright. I'm good. I spent a lot of time today with my mum looking at old family photos
Okay.
that she has only just received, so a lot of stuff I haven't seen before. And it's alarming how much family resemblances exist. Like
Sure.
Like I was sending them to my girlfriend. I was saying, she was like, "Oh my god, you look like your mum. Oh my god, you look like your nan. Oh my god, you look like your granddad." I'm like, "Yep."
That's
Also,
fair.
when I was a baby, I looked like Phil Mitchell, and that's fun to me.
Do you think if you were to shave your hair, you would look like Phil Mitchell?
I'd like to think not, but evidence today suggests
This is what I'm absolutely like the one thing. Like, no offense to the actor that plays Phil Mitchell, but like the one thing that I really don't want to happen is to go bald and be like, "Oh look, I look like Phil Mitchell."
Right? Yeah, that's kind of my opinion as well. So, but thankfully, I think I'm gonna maybe avoid the bald thing, but at the same time, I'm
I
not
hope you
counting my
don't.
chickens.
I hope you don't go bald, Charlie. That would kind of suck.
I mean, I feel like my hair's my only personality trait. So.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that your hair's your only personality.
I think it is definitely. I would not even consider it a personality trait at all, to be quite frank with you.
A lot of people would. But...
Yeah, but let's be honest. Me and Adam only really know you from an audio perspective.
Fair. Okay.
Well, okay, Adam. You've met him. You've met him once.
Nah, I was like, I'd say at least 3 times. At least.
I honestly want to meet Charlie. I really want to meet Charlie. No cap.
Next time I'm somehow up there, which is probably unlikely, but you being down here, which is way more likely, is happening. It's just a case of when that happens.
Yeah, people from London don't travel.
Don't need to, bruv. I've got 16 Tesco's within a 2-mile radius of me. Why would I move? Why would I leave anywhere?
We have better Tesco's. Nah, I'm joking. Tesco shit.
I mean, you know.
Also joined by Louis Birtwistle. Welcome back. It's been a while since you've been on the podcast.
What's the point of it all?
Oh my god.
That's the spirit.
This is
why do we go through this mundane existence every day, doing the same things over and over again, just letting the cycle repeat on and on until we forever get fed up and listen to shitty podcasts like this one. We're a good podcast. Listen to us, or I will personally hunt you down
and make you listen to it.
So what you're saying is you'll personally hunt down every single person in the world who doesn't listen to this?
Yep.
Mate.
I'm just saying, life's just shit and boring. Like, it's just terrible.
For a start, it's every single human being who doesn't speak English.
Life is terrible, right?
Sure.
And this podcast just makes it better.
I am okay to admit that life is terrible, and this podcast makes it better.
I'll see how this episode goes before making a judgment.
Sure. I'm more than 100% okay with agreeing to the first bit. Yeah.
No, I should agree.
I back the first bit. I back the first bit. A second bit, maybe not this episode, but I think this podcast in general has made life better for some people. It may just be me, but I get to spend an hour and a half every week chatting to some mates. That's better than most people. That's better than a lot of people have in the world. Yeah, I back that.
Yeah,
I back that kind of wholesome behaviour.
Oh, what am I doing? I'm not allowed to be wholesome. That's ridiculous.
And yet here you are.
And here I am being somewhat wholesome. What you guys been doing? What have you been doing this week? Charlie, you've been playing eFootball. I saw that happen.
Ugh.
I just want to.
I played it for an evening, and I've since regretted that.
Really?
And
since you played it for an evening, we're like, this wasn't good, and then afterwards you were like, oh, I regret playing it for that evening.
Well, as soon as I finished, really, I was like, what am I doing?
Sure.
And then the next morning I woke up because it went live obviously at 12
Mm.
or whatever for us because UK time and that
Yeah.
midnight, and then I woke up the next day. I was up like I think I was the day I was up pretty early. I woke up and I saw UK games journalists
Yes.
being like, "Oh, heard eFootball's bad. I'm gonna go download it."
Yeah.
And like, I think I only replied to one of them. I think I replied to Wesley Ian Paul from Eurogamer, and I was just like,
Mm.
just don't bother. It's not worth it. It's really not.
Sure.
They've managed to make a game that's not worth it, even though it's 3.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
So I find it funny, Charlie. Like, for once, we're ahead of the curve. We should have done something about eFootball. The second you finish playing it, you should have done something. Uploaded something on it. Shit, don't bother. Like, even the 20 seconds.
The thing is, I tweeted it out, and that's even then. I didn't know if I could be asked. That is how bad it was. Sometimes you just don't acknowledge the shit, and it was like, what am I doing,
Sure.
wasting my time tweeting? Like literally, as I was tweeting it out, I was like, what am I? This is more of my time wasting on this piece of crap.
No,
What am I
what I'm
doing?
saying is, like, if we could have uploaded a video about it, and we would have been the only publication on the planet. It would have been a
yeah, but that would have
first look.
taken. You're missing the point. That would have taken me doing literally anything, and it's not worth it.
Ah,
It's just not worth it. Do you know who I feel really sorry for?
no.
The people who are YouTubers and streamers who only pay Pez, because
Oh,
my
sure.
God,
Are
they've
there?
been saddled with the worst thing. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if I check in on some of them and they're still playing the old one,
Yeah.
because it's just pointless.
Are there YouTubers and streamers that only play? I assume that because I know there are for FIFA, but like I assume they
Yeah, of
just
course,
moved to
tons.
FIFA.
No,
Huh?
the whole point of you doing it on Pez is you don't want to play FIFA. That's the whole point. You're avoiding FIFA, and to be honest with
Yeah.
you, the FIFA shit as well. So moving over there is just a mess.
So UFL
like,
is it
do you-
UFL? Come on, UFL, fill in that shit.
Hopefully, we'll see what happens. We don't have a date for that yet, but we'll see what happens. But
True.
I suspect it'll be next year, late next year. But man, ugh, just
But I assume FIFA's just as shit as it always is.
I think
Like it's not
I mean,
like
look,
any better or any worse than it usually is. It's just. Like, this is FIFA
all
style.
I see of it at this point, it's just a bit of a scam, isn't it?
No, yeah.
that's what it has been for years.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff that they say to try and convince you to buy something that points you towards loot boxes the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you load up FIFA and it's like, yo, do you want loot boxes? You're like, no. And you try to do
Please
anything
stop.
else and it's like, yeah, but loot boxes. You're like playing the game modes that have nothing to do with it. It's like, you've just earned a loot box. And it's like, can you just leave me alone? Can you just stop trying this, please?
Please,
like,
please
I
stop,
hate it.
friend. Please stop.
And now Pez is dead. Like,
Yeah.
just,
Oh, have they killed it?
bruv, it's the worst. I can't stress how bad it is. Literally, right? They took a year. This is what doesn't understand, right? They took a year off, right? They said last year, we're not going to release a full version again. So the version we're releasing isn't going to have the changes the amount of changes you'd expect. So we're going to sell it for half price. It's only 20 quid. Enjoy. And I'm like, sweet.
Sure.
I'm totally okay with that. Selling it for less, that makes sense. Good times. I back it wholeheartedly, right? And yet, because they changed the engine. They went from Fox Engine to, I believe, Unity. I'd have to double check on that.
Yeah.
And it's just they've made such a significantly worse game. I honestly, genuinely don't understand how they did it. Like,
They just
it makes
did.
no sense to me, because like it's just so like because I was expecting, so the way they've laid out the launch, and they've spoken about it at length. They've been talking about, oh, we're going to release it first with like what essentially was tantamount to a demo of it, and I was like, okay,
It
sure.
was the thing that you played ages ago, right?
Well, no, I'm ignoring that. That's the like
okay.
network test thing.
Oh yeah, that's.
I'm talking about once they were past that and they actually officially announced eFootball 2022.
Okay.
They were like, it's free, and the first thing you're gonna get is like what should just be called the demo. I don't know why it isn't, because that would make it so much. It would make so much more sense. But so they were like, you can play friendly matches against the computer, and there's like 6 teams you can choose from, and then you can kind of play online
with any team, but it's kind of weird. And like, all right, whatever.
Sure.
So I was expecting to go into like from the network testing that I played. I was expecting it to be not very good, and from the way they laid it out, I was expecting to have a significant lack of features because of the way they purposely said. And I'm like, well, you've moored me up front to some extent, right?
Mm.
There's so much less than I expected. Because the one thing that was always great about PES compared to FIFA was the on-pitch gameplay. That was always the good bit. The bit where you're actually passing the ball around and shooting the ball and all that good stuff. Not the background stuff where you're doing transfers and you're playing different game modes and whatever. That wasn't the good bit. The good bit
No.
was when you were actually doing the shoots and the goals and the kicks and all that good stuff, right? That bit is so significantly worse than it was. And they've reduced it as well. From like, you used to be able to do so many different things, different plays, different tactics, and they've taken almost all of it out in such a weird way that I still don't understand. I can't get my head around it. It's so bad. And I said this to my friend, a different Adam, who me and Adam play PES all the time, and he was playing it and he was like, "Oh my god, this is garbage." And I was like, it's fitting, really, that it wasn't killed by FIFA or AA, that somehow Konami killed it themselves.
Yeah.
Because it's just insane.
Yeah, I think you
It's-
tweeted that as well, and I did reply as something like, "That's what Konami does." Like, it's typically is their thing is they go, "We have a thing. It was successful. Let's kill it."
I just don't. I'm not playing it again. I can't be asked. It's not worth it. I was expecting it to be bad, and I was expecting not to like it. And I thought if I have the time that evening, I might do a stream on it or something, just to be
Yeah.
like, here's some PES, just so, because I wanted
Sure.
to test out some things on my end that I've been trying to make on stream on OBS. So I was like, I might as well do it with that. And genuinely, I'm just not gonna boot it back up again. There's just no point. Like, it just can't. It's not worth the effort. It really isn't.
Okay.
It sucks. It really sucks. From like the best on-field game it could have been, and in my mind, the best on-field football game there's ever been. That's at least trying to simulate football, not an arcade style of football, but at least trying to simulate football. From being the best one I've ever played, to being an absolute travesty. It sucks. So gotta wait for UFL, see how that is, I guess. But at this point,
no
Manager,
football
maybe...
games for you. Yeah, just Football Manager.
Yeah.
Do you still play a lot of Football Manager?
Not for a while. There was a time period where I was getting it every single year and putting hundreds of hours into it, but
Jesus.
that hasn't been for a couple of years now. Just haven't really had the time. Or
I mean, that's
to
why you don't have time to fucking play anything, to be fair.
no, right? So I'll play Football Manager when it comes out, because it comes to Game Pass. So I'll play Football Manager when it comes out, but yeah, probably not for that long. And there's zero chance of me buying FIFA. So
Zero chance. Zero.
yeah, no, fuck that.
Oh.
I don't buy that piece of shit. Like, it's just a fucking gambling box. I don't need that. Like, it's that time of year again when FIFA comes out and everyone has to pretend they like something when actually they hate it, and then actually really vocally say they hate it, but also put hundreds of pounds into it. No, fuck that bullshit. I ain't. No.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
Like,
yeah,
FIFA's. Like, I was interested. Like, they spoke about some animation upgrades and some stuff they did to FIFA this year, which sounded sort of minimal, but at the same time, I was like, do you know what? Maybe it's good. And then I saw a bunch. I was looking up the reviews when it came out. Which FIFA also had a weird as fuck launch, to be fair.
Sure.
In terms of timings, it was really odd. Like, you would get it this time if you have EA Play, but then also if you have a different version of EA Play, you get it a full version of it a week earlier, and then if you've bought a special edition of it, you get it 3 days earlier than a different edition. I don't know, but when the reviews were finally coming out, which were a bit all over the shop, they were very FIFA reviews, but even most of them were talking about how, like, yeah, it's not that much of a change. Like, the animation system and all this other stuff they were talking about haven't really changed it significantly. At which point I'm like, all right, sweet, and I really don't give a shit, because FIFA's just not that enjoyable to me. I like the online stuff in FIFA. Like,
yeah, of course. Yeah.
I enjoy that aspect of it, and EA servers hold up significantly better than Konami's ever have. But I don't care. So no football this year, unfortunately.
No, football's cancelled.
Football's over. Everyone,
Football's
forget
been
it.
cancelled.
Forget
Done.
it. It's done.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna watch the real bit and then I don't know, play Pac-Man or something instead. I don't know.
Football Manager's November. You could always do that.
And I'll do what I do every year for Football Manager since that era where I was playing it like hardcore.
Yeah.
I've done this exact thing every single year, and I will do it again. I will
Okay.
get it. I will play it for like a weekend really hard,
Yeah.
and then I will never touch it again.
Sure.
And I'll probably do that. Not because it's bad, just because Football Manager. But yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Pez is shite, mate. Don't touch it.
I mean, I wasn't planning to.
R.I.P. Pez.
Yeah. What is realistically? What is Konami doing now? Just Yu-Gi-Oh.
Well, because obviously we've had these. We spoke about this on the podcast a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
But we've had these ongoing rumors about Silent Hill something being made, and now during the week we had a bunch come out about they are actually starting to whir up
the Metal Gear stuff.
where you have the Metal Gear, the Metal Gear 3 thing happening alongside a new Castlevania game happening. So they seem to be at least slightly more interested in doing stuff and
video games than they were.
The reasons that I've heard is that video games are way more profitable now than they ever have been, and so they're like,
Really?
actually, we could probably get involved with this. And apparently, the eFootball stuff, like Pez as an entity, is like really quite separate from Konami.
I can imagine.
In terms of like they just, it happens to be a very profitable thing that they've just let go on because it's very profitable. So they just sort of exist in perpetuity, just making their thing in their own little bubble. They've got 2 studios working on it. There's one in Japan and there's one in, I think, London, that works on Pez every year.
That makes sense.
So they just have their own thing going on. But yeah, apparently they're actually now whirring up the wheels again. We'll see. We'll see. Like the Metal Gear 3 thing is like interesting because that's like a lot of people's favorite.
Yes.
But whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm more interested to see what a new Silent Hill would look like out of the 3.
True. I mean, we already know what Metal Gear Solid 3 looks like. We already know what a remake of that game would look like as well. Like it's like Metal Gear Solid 3 hasn't even aged that badly.
They've not said well, it's not been public whether it's like a direct beat for beat remake or whether it's a remaster or whether it's a reimagining or what. But it's said to be sort of based around Metal Gear 3, whatever that is.
Whatever.
So whether that ends up being a remake or whether that ends up being like I don't know, what's a good example? I don't know, a game where you're clearly remaking your like Final Fantasy 7, I guess, sort of thing. Whether it's like Final Fantasy 7 or whether it's like The Last of Us on PS5 or whatever, I don't know which one we're going to see. We'll see.
Fair.
But yeah, Silent Hill is the interesting one for me.
Probably. I've never played a Silent Hill game, I don't think.
I played a couple, but it's more just the idea of having like a new horror game. Like, what's that actually going to look like? You know?
Yeah, sure. It's gonna because they've got to like with Silent Hill. They've got to I guess keep an eye on what Resident Evil's doing, or like just completely avoid what Resident Evil's doing completely. It's interesting to see how much the new Resident Evil stuff would influence. And what happened with PT and like what Silent Hills was going to be. It's interesting to see how that affects a potential new Silent Hill game.
Well, as far as I'm aware, they seem to be. I might be wrong, but I think they're very open right now to just putting their franchises in other people's hands. So it's not like whereas PT and stuff like that were Konami productions. I don't know if these like obviously Konami will be heavily involved because they're publishing it.
Sure,
they're their IPs, but as far as I'm aware, they seem to be pretty open to just being like, which companies have which company can make this work, as opposed to how do we do this ourselves, which gives me more hope. Which makes me more interested in it because
in development anymore.
Yeah, if someone's out there who's got a super idea for a Silent Hill game but isn't necessarily working at Konami, and now all of a sudden they've been given the opportunity to actually make a Silent Hill game, that's way more interesting to me than Konami going to their people and going, right, we need a Silent Hill game.
Yeah, true. That is fair. Yeah, that was video
So
games.
we'll see. That's what they do, and kill my hopes and dreams. But what can you do about that?
I mean, Konami do that in general. Yeah,
They do. They love it.
they do. They love killing people's hopes and dreams. That's what a lot of I mean, that's what everyone's been upset with them for so long because they stopped giving a shit, didn't they? Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It happens.
It does. What have you been up to, Louis? What's your week been like? Have you had any fun things?
I've been working.
Oh shit.
I'm basically been playing Destiny 2,
Mm.
doing the same raid over and over again
Oh.
because I have no
Issues.
self-respect.
Oh. We said that because I am a masochist, obviously. Are you doing it for speedrun purposes?
Kind of, but also just to have more clears.
Oh. And what do the clears give? Having more clears give you better stuff?
Nothing.
Nothing.
A bigger number on a website. That's literally it.
Oh, okay. Sure. Sounds fun. Right.
He says. He
Yeah.
says.
Doing that, I love doing the same thing over and over again for no reason.
I kind of enjoy it.
But, I mean, if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. It's cool, isn't it? It's kind of. I always thought the idea of there's no. If time enjoyed is not time wasted, right?
I mean, that's my opinion on the matter.
Yeah. So if you're enjoying
That's my
yourself, it's all good. It's all good.
That's what I always say when my girlfriend's like, "Why are you getting the platinum trophy in that game?" I'm like, "Look, I'm enjoying myself. Leave me alone."
Yeah, I mean I think that's fair. I also why you get the platinum trophy in that game, Charlie?
So I'm enjoying it.
Ugh, just platinum trophies. Yeah.
Such a negative Nancy, said the guy who spent 20 minutes screaming.
What? What?
I was insulting myself.
Oh. But you just spent 20 minutes screaming.
Yeah, it's about Pez being fucking shit.
Oh,
Fuck's
sure.
sake, man.
Sure.
I just want my. I'm just gonna play old Pez and just remember what good times were like.
You could play Pez on the PS2.
Yeah, although I've tried to do that recently and they've not aged great.
But
Something about them still kind of beautiful, but they've not aged great. I'll say that much.
still kind of beautiful, you say. I don't know what you mean by kind of beautiful.
They just there's something about the flow of those games that's just lovely, and also
Yeah.
Trevor Brookings' voice on commentary, but at the same time, not aged well, not aged super well. What about you?
No.
What have you been up to? Love that.
Fucking nothing, mate. That's not necessarily true. I don't know. What game wise or in general? Nothing much in general. I've been planning stuff for us a lot in general. To be fair, more than anything. Been getting some. I've got an interview locked down for Wednesday.
Nice.
It's gonna be good. Hopefully interesting.
Which poor sod have we roped into our little thing now?
I've got an interview coming with the people who made the soundtrack for Tone, which is a game that we got given a code for by Pop Agenda. It's a little indie game about taking photographs. We did some on the Twitch channel. I've been trying to write a review for that as well, but I'm just I'm so shit at writing game reviews, man.
I don't think you are.
I struggle so much with game reviews, you know.
Sure.
I feel because you know particularly because I got hired to do a music review, an album review, and I was just comparing doing album reviews to doing game reviews in my head and my approach to them, and I'm just sat there what's the difference between doing a game review and a music review, and why do I find just mashing words down to be very easy in a music review, but in a game review I'm like, okay, I need to talk about this, I need to talk about that, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to talk about the structure of this, I need to, and there's so much more complexities in the game review for me than the music review, even though I'm not even I don't know anything about music theory or anything like that, but I can hammer out some fucking similes for days,
Yeah.
So I just sit there okay, I'm gonna write a review of Tome, my finished Tome. What the fuck do I say about this thing? It plays like this. It is good because this,
I mean, but like when you talk about games, you talk about them well,
Sure.
you know.
Yeah.
You talk about them with some passion, with some verve, Adam.
It's so hard though, when like the things that I always talking about this on Twitter. Like, the things that I'm very good at talking about is like the story and the way that the story interacts with the gameplay and stuff like that. And I'm not very good at just being like, the gameplay is this. This is the technical bit of the game.
I don't think you. But the thing is, I don't know if you need to talk about that to an extent. Like you do, but but it's not like I think a review is like. I don't know, like when so for example, the music review you were writing this week, like I feel like with that specifically, you were sort of doing that but for music.
Sure. Yeah.
And I feel like the difference is there's not much difference there. You're talking about like, especially like you don't have to go like the controls are good. You know, I don't know if you need to say that in this day and age. I don't know if that's necessary for a review. I feel like you talk about the stuff that's actually impactful and meaningful to you and the reader, and I don't know if like listing off like that kind of stuff is necessary. I don't know.
I see. I would agree, but then, and this is a problem with game reviews in general, is I feel like game reviews do tend to be that way though. They do tend to be like, the game plays, you press a button and it does a thing. It's fun when you press the button and does the thing. Then the story happens because I pressed the button enough times, and the story is a good one.
I think if you're working, it depends who you're working for as well.
True.
I think if you're IGN or whatever and you're reviewing FIFA, then maybe there is some value to talking about that sort of nonsense.
Also, it does depend on what you're playing, what you're reviewing as well. Obviously.
Yeah, and I think especially with Tome, if that's how
however you
come down on that,
we'll figure it. We'll figure it out.
Tome or Toem. If that's how. I don't think that game is necessary to talk about those things. You know?
But what do you talk about? Like, there's not an awful lot of story. There's not an awful lot of anything. Like, you just sort of chill for a bit.
I feel like that's the review, right?
The review is you just chill for a bit.
You're talking about this isn't some like sweeping narrative that's gonna get you off your feet and applaud in rapturous love.
Sure.
This isn't a hardcore game like Super Meat Boy where you're going to be sat there trying time after time to do something. No, it's a puzzle adventure with a cool gimmick and a nice vibe. You know, you're going to sit down, you're going to enjoy yourself for a certain amount of hours, and you're not going to regret it after it, sort of thing.
Yeah,
I don't think like, especially a game like Toem. I don't think you need to have like, in my opinion anyway. If I was reading a review of that game and they were like, the controls of the main character are tight. The conversations or blah blah blah. Like, I don't know if that controls are responsive. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's necessary to even mention in that game.
Yeah, so like that's what I'm thinking though. Like, what do I mention? I just mentioned that it's chill, I guess, but like, and like the basics of like you gotta go around taking photographs and stuff to solve little puzzles.
You talk about how that takes. In my opinion, you talk about like how the photograph taking plays into the rest of the game and how like the concept allows you to sort of like enjoy specific characters and capture moments, and it's basically a puzzle adventure. You go around on little quests, picking stuff up and finding stuff for people, and you know, you interact with different objects in different ways. The difference in what you're doing when you're taking the camera, how the world looks compared to like as it is normally. You know, I think there's different bits like that you can speak about. You know, I think if you were reviewing Street Fighter 5, then obviously you're talking specifically about controls.
Well, yeah, of course, yeah.
Combos and fucking I love the X button and all that shit. But like, you know, in something like Toem, I think I don't know how much there is to even speak about that. But again, like I said, when I read your music reviews, and specifically the one we were speaking about, like you were sort of doing that for music. You know, you're talking about you're talking literally about the instrumentation and like how the different uses of different instruments and how even the different uses of the same instruments change the tones of songs and how they vary and how they come in and out and all that sort of stuff.
Sure.
Like, can you speak about it well?
Considering I know fuck all about music.
Right. I mean, but we all know fuck all about anything. But like,
true.
You know, I think it's relatively transferable.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I maybe it's just I don't know. It's just a thing with video games. I feel like I need to be more structured with it. Maybe and I've tried writing as if they're films sometimes, and it kind of works. But I've definitely had like the criticism of people coming off and going, like, I've read your review and it sounds cool, but I don't know how it plays. I'm like, well, sure.
But this is what I think it's again. I've been critical of this, but I do think I do understand why people do it. Just going, it is like Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Like I think it's kind of a relatively not lazy, but I personally don't like reading it, but I understand why people go to it. You know,
Yeah.
like this game it feels if this is a Call of Duty up, and it's like I get it.
Call
I don't
of
particularly
Duty
love it, but
Call
I do.
Call
get
of
it.
Duty up.
We need
I get
to
it.
get that phrase, in
That
common
is
usage.
trade. We gotta have that trademarked. Holy fuck!
We need it in
Oh,
common usage.
but we can't.
We can't.
I listen, not with that attitude.
True.
But I get it, but I just think it's a bit. I personally don't care.
It's got on the. Yeah, I know, and like a lot of people do, I guess, and I just find it. I don't know. I find it video games are awkward. Video games are awkward.
I also think part of it is just you should write what you would want to read.
That's true.
And if you would want to read it as good controls, then sure, write that. But if you don't care, if you are like, and I would suspect you would probably be like me in this case of being like, that's not really the thing I would be most enthralled by. Then
it doesn't matter. Like I genuinely think like the game is just nice. Like that's it. Like it's not like you say, it's not a challenging game. It's not a deep, interesting story or narrative. It's just like, oh, this is nice, cool,
yeah,
enjoyable.
That's my opinion.
Fair. I mean, there's lots to think about, man. Lots to think about. Yeah, I'm not really doing too much. I mean, I decided to start on Final Fantasy 14 again. The new expansion's coming out the end of November. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck, I ought to be like getting prepared to start the expansion when it comes out. When the expansion comes out, I should be like, okay, I can play the expansion instead of, oh, I still have like all of these things that I need to do.
How's that going?
It's fine. I've been like, you know what? I want to get all the jobs to a certain level in a month, and that's gonna be ridiculous. But we're working on it. To be fair, I only started like a couple of days ago, and I was like, you know what? I'll play it. And then
Yo,
do you know?
Sorry, I interrupted you. I didn't realize you were still on your thing. Oh, carry on. It's
no, I just said, and then I started playing Night in the Woods because I felt like I needed to also play that game for reasons.
Yeah, for reasons. I was. Damn, I'm already losing my train of thought. Oh my god. Something to do with fucking. This is all your fault, Adam. Damn. Oh yeah. Speaking of which, I don't know if this is still the case, but I feel like I think Destiny 2 was the third most, which had the third biggest population throughout all of Steam, current player base out of all games on Steam.
I think it was. Yeah, it's pretty. There was a point where I remember us checking, and it was it Steam concurrent user base, Steam concurrent players. I guess. New World, Counter-Strike, Global Offensive, Dota 2, PUBG, Apex Legends, Team Fortress 2, Destiny 2, GTA 5, Rust, and Dead by Daylight. So far, they're the current top games by player count. That's like what's now though, isn't it? That's not in general. No, I guess it is kind of in general. New World obviously just came out. That's the Amazon MMO thing that happened.
Everyone's banging on about.
Oh, everyone! Yeah, literally, like a bunch of people from Destiny are playing it, and we're like, "Stop, please!" I don't even know. I don't even want to get it because it just means giving big Jeffy boy more money.
Jeffrey Bezos, yeah,
He already has enough of my money. I don't want to give him more of it.
He's no longer in Amazon, so you weren't giving him any money. You're just giving Amazon money, aren't you?
Charlie's all about giving Amazon
Does
money.
does he not still own it?
No, he's gone, isn't he?
What's he
Well, as
doing
far as
then?
I'm aware, I don't know if he sold it, but he's definitely no longer the CEO.
Entrepreneur.
Born in 1964.
Yeah. That one. That one. Right, you two talk amongst yourselves because I'm gonna have to dip out for a second. Sorry about
Prepared.
that.
Prepared.
Sorry about that. I just have to dip out for a second.
I might,
Yeah.
I might be wrong. I'd have to look into it. I could be. He might still own it, but I'm not entirely certain. If I'm being honest.
I have to say, it's so hollow with him gone. I don't know what I'm doing. What I'd do without Adam.
I was gonna say, do you mean Adam or do you mean Jeffrey Bezos?
I miss Adam so much.
Okay, Adam. Okay. Okay. But yeah. So how is Destiny? So I mean, so you've been speed running it.
Kind of.
You kind of because you were learning it. How was that sort of train going?
Kind of. It can be like the movement tech and some of the other stuff is quite hard, considering Destiny being an MMO where they constantly patch shit and it's getting very frustrating. So
Yeah.
a lot of the time, these patches kind of they don't help. They don't really help anybody, but they kind of like hurt the most dedicated player base.
Sure.
Because
Yeah.
like the only people really doing these kind of techniques are the only people that are really good at them.
Mm.
So it's just kind of a lot of the time it's like, well, most of the time it's like, well, it's a bug in the game, it's going to be fixed. But it's just like, well, what are the implications of changing it? Like Sea of Thieves ultimately didn't change it. Ultimately didn't change a bug because they knew it would ultimately like hurt the quality of life in the game.
Mm. But yeah, I guess so. I guess it depends what it is, right? You can think about it on a case by case basis. Whereas the Sea of Thieves bug is like it doesn't actually really hurt anything. It's just something that wasn't intended. You know. But I can't. I obviously can't speak to the intricacies of the patches for Destiny for obvious reasons. But
Yo,
in that
I'll
specific, I don't know if there would be any. I don't know what the benefit to getting rid of whatever that move is called in Sea of Thieves is. You know.
yeah, I'll actually show you a couple of like Destiny speedruns either. Don't worry, they're only like 2 minutes long, but you just see some
Sure. It's the beauty
pretty
of showing someone a speed run is they tend to last they're pretty quick usually.
yeah, they're pretty insane in their quickness,
Mm, mm. But
which is quite.
so what is it like trying to learn to speed run a game when, like you say, there is sort of not constant changes, but like there are sort of running a game that's live because there's obviously like the difference between like if you're running an older game that's on PS2 or whatever, the only time speed runs really significantly change
Is when
routes is
something new is
yes,
found way after the fact.
yeah, exactly. So what's it like running a game that's live, that's updated constantly, sort of thing?
It can be kind of rough because sometimes there can be changes which kill runs forever.
Yeah.
So like there are certain runs, certain categories that will never be beaten because they simply just cannot be beaten,
Mm.
which is unfortunate unless something miraculous happens and a new skip is found. But that's usually rarely the case because with the amount of people working to find this stuff, it's quite rare.
Yeah.
So it can be hard, but I think the hardest part really about running a game like Destiny 2 is, unfortunately, I hate to say it, the community.
Okay.
Um, Destiny sort of like endgame PvE community or like speedrun community isn't like it's not the worst, but I wouldn't call it the most wholesome either.
Sure.
And there, I've faced challenges along the way, just attempting to get involved with certain people.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think by and large you could say that sort of similarly for a lot of things. It being the worst part of any hobby is usually the people who are like kind of
who are also rather invested.
yeah, which sucks to be honest. Like and obviously that's a very sweeping statement, and like you can say like the community you very clearly don't mean the vast majority of people, but there are a not insignificant amount of
Right.
people who are
So
pricks
there
or whatever.
were. I'm not going to name them, but there were some clear farmers that I played with
Sure.
who ran this raid,
I think I spent the session farming with them, got some really good runs and that. But just to give you an idea on the kind of people that you were, like, yeah, let's say if you missed a permaflag. I know you don't know what that means, but
Yeah, sure.
just like go along with it. Let's say if you miss like a permaflag, it's a pretty easy thing. It's like, very very easy to not mess up. But
Yeah.
if by somehow like you mess it up, these were the kind of people that would like DDoS you and shit like that.
Yeah. Which just
Well, that's
feels
how bad it. Or
unnecessary.
they dox your IP and share it to a bunch of servers, like what happened to myself a bit ago.
It just feels unnecessary. If I'm being completely honest, I
Yeah.
often find like
There's a lot of because it's something a lot of people get involved with. A lot of people have these huge, like monumental egos. It's insane.
yeah,
I mean, myself included. Like I kind of fall victim to the trap every now and again, because what Destiny provides is something fairly unique in the form of cooperative speedrunning,
sure, yeah.
which means you
It's
have to work cooperatively with another person. And obviously, if there's even when you're cooperating with other people, there is still like some inherent competition.
I
Like
think
in term,
it's
sorry, carry on.
interesting. No, I was just gonna say it's just interesting because like I think the more the internet, I don't know if maybe it's an internet issue or what, but there are just communities of people tend to have absolute shite laws fairly frequently. And I mean, you look at say like something I love like wrestling, and it's like some of the toxicity there is just out of this world. It's over nothing. Like in my head, like now AEW exists, which is a rival promotion to WWE in many ways. Like there are people who are fucking diehard WWE people or diehard AEW people, and they hate the other side with such a venom and act towards them as such. And it's like similar, and in my opinion on it, and it would be my opinion similarly if I was super into Destiny, would be the case of someone is trying to share the thing I love. That's a good thing. Like I don't understand why like everyone has to like things but competitively.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it's that kind of thing where like I'll be playing Yu-Gi-Oh with my friend or whatever, or Street Fighter with my friend, and they're so significantly better than me that they're just absolutely smacking me about. But that's okay. Like I don't mind that fact. It's not the end of the world. But for certain people, and I get being competitive, but like you don't have to like something competitively, you know?
It's
You can be
ridiculous, isn't it?
competitive, but if someone else loves the thing you love, that should be something to celebrate with them, not fucking attack them over.
Oh yeah, well it's not really about that for them. It's not like they care about the health of the community. It's about they just want to be better than you.
Kind of sad.
At
That's-
what though? At
that's-
like
that's all.
loving Destiny.
Just being good at Destiny. It's like what's important to them is just being better than you.
Okay.
Look, well, I
bit-
mean, I kind of do. It's only something I sort of share and only kind of get involved with. It's not like it's the end of the. It's like I try and be better than I am, and I try and get better, but it's not like I care about who that I'm better than. If that makes any sense.
You just care that you're improving, but there's a difference between you getting better and improving at the game, and you going, "I want to be better than that person," or because for whatever reason.
Reasons.
Yeah, there isn't a reason really, is there? The reason they want to be better than any individual person is because they just want to make their game worse. I guess I don't know. Like,
Well, I also think there's a difference between like because like I don't get angry, but a lot of people do at pets. But like it's specifically Konami. But like in terms of like being like playing a competitive game or whatever, let's just say
sure,
for sake of example, we all get angry and get frustrated about
yeah,
anything
of
or
course.
whatever. But there's a difference between going, oh for fuck's sake, man, and then going, I'm going to dox this person.
Like just to give you an
It's
idea of the
such a
kind of
different level.
just
It
to give
is.
you an idea of the kind of people we're dealing with, it's like this is technology that they've even taught me how to use. Just something that I didn't want to know and I will never get involved with. I now know how to do
Wait, really? They've just gone
just
like,
from hearing them. Yeah, I know how to steal somebody's IP address now. I know how to I know how to create a Trojan virus.
That's
Neither
so
of these
dumb.
things, I will ever do. But I now have that information, so it's like, it's just kind of crazy how online communities. I imagine a lot of online communities are like this too. It's just a lot of it's kind of buried away.
I guess so.
Yeah, it's in the deepest bowels of it. I think I would say it's in every online community.
Yeah. Probably.
And even if it's not, even if you're talking about like doxing or like fucking viruses or whatever,
But just cybercrime.
Like,
Just
Yeah.
straight up
yeah, even if you're
cybercrime.
talking about that, there's still communities that exist online. For example, football, where you might not be get cybercrimed, but I'll tell you what, you're getting crimed. They
Right.
all just
So
beat you up
I've
for
got
no
an
reason.
interesting. There is something very interesting with Destiny in particular, right? So there is a player called Indica. Now they got their team. His team got like world's first last wish, and he was quite a big. He was like a very big player in Destiny. He recently, as a few months ago, got banned from the game permanently for some really horrible, messed up shit that he was doing. There is pages and pages of like videos, Discord screenshots, threats of cybercrime, all this other stuff. It's insane. Like I could send you a list, and I've watched so many of those clips, and I'm like, this dude is a psychopath.
They just don't care, do they, though, I guess. Like,
Like this guy has a legitimate problem, and it's just mental. And this guy's huge. Like he's like one of the biggest personalities in the game, and he was just doing all this shit, and it's
I
just
think
like
it's something me and my girlfriend have spoken a lot. Well, not recently, but in the past we've spoken quite a bit about. Is the idea of like being an online celebrity is really fucking weird because you have that sort of notoriety and that fame and everything that comes with it, but it's not like normal celebrity, if you want to word it like that, where there are guardians, there are gatekeepers, there are agents, and look, as much as those people do bring a lot of negative aspects, they're also probably teaching you what to not and what to
Well,
and what
yeah.
to not do. You know, these people, they're not gonna say the N word like PewDiePie. They're not gonna do a lot of those things that that internet celebrities sometimes get caught up doing because they don't have someone there sort of looking out for them.
Yeah.
Because you get famous almost in your bedroom and then whatever else happens, right? And it's
honestly.
really fucking weird. And it's like I don't know how I feel about it at all. You know?
Well, that's the same. Like if you recorded some of my Discord calls, or screenshotted some of the things I post amongst friends, I'd be gone. I'd be out of there. I'd be out of here. But like in my context, it's just for the most part, it's a joke amongst friends. Like I make sure that whatever I get involved with is never visible to the public because I don't want to hurt anybody. If that makes sense, the biggest thing for me is causing harm to somebody else, but so many of these people just don't care, and I find that insane.
The
I find
issue
that
is
so
when
insane.
people don't care, and that's like it's a problem. I think the problem with this sort of celebrity thing that you were talking about there as well is like there's also no gap between like us and them, and I mean us and them as in like the viewer and the celebrity. Like with YouTube or stuff like TikTok or whatever, like you're not a celebrity because you know if you saw fucking Angelina Jolie in the street, she'd be surrounded by like bodyguards or whatever, and she would have like you don't know who Angelina Jolie is, you don't know anything about her, but you'll see like internet celebrities every day. You'll interact with them every day on YouTube or on Twitter or TikTok or whatever. They become this sort of like everlasting thing. So the point that you know, well, that you feel like you know who they are at the very
Also,
least.
for the most part, they usually don't have people protecting them in the street.
Usually no, unless they're like incredibly rich, as like some of them are. But,
I mean, if I was PewDiePie, I would want to be protected. Just saying.
I think PewDiePie is like nowadays probably.
Why? You know what kind of psychopaths are out there. Like there are people. There are people that would call the man a Nazi. Like I think he's a bit of a despicable person, but I don't think he's a Nazi.
I think he's a bit despicable, but
I wouldn't. You know what I mean? I wouldn't call the man a Nazi.
No,
No.
I think he's an ignorant. I think he's an ignorant numpty. But like,
Yeah,
I think it's such a weird thing to exist. It's such a weird thing to exist, and like from an example from my own standpoint of obviously like very very low level, but we
You're
like
like
a lot of the people I know are big within this very specific niche community
yeah.
that gather around a specific football stadium every other
Yeah,
weekend.
yeah, yeah.
So it's like obviously unbelievably niche. You walk down the street, no one gives a shit about you, but then you
No,
go
of
to a
course.
game and all of a sudden people come up to you and go, "Oh, like your videos, blah 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 blah." Right.
Yeah.
But that works the other way where like someone I know, and this has never happened to me, thankfully, although I did sort of mention, I think to you, Adam, the other day, how I'm 100% certain it's going to. Someone I know who is probably one of the most well-known faces in the community in that sense on West Ham YouTube, and is known for being coming across as being let's say maybe slightly obnoxiously opinionated.
Sure.
I don't think that of him,
Yeah,
to be
but
honest
other
with you.
people
I like him as a human being quite a lot, but I've heard other people say that. He was at a game, and he was walking home. He was walking back towards his car from the game, and someone who I also know who's friends with him as well, who happens to be verging on like 6'5" and incredibly big, and you would not fight in a fight. Was walking behind him, just happened to be behind him, and someone came up to the person behind him and said, "You see that guy? I've seen him from videos. I'm gonna go beat him up."
Oh really?
And it just went to try and start a fight with him. Literally tried to start fucking punching the guy just because he doesn't even cause trouble.
No.
He just says stuff because you're like, "Oh, you're making West Ham fans look stupid or whatever." Now, thankfully, the person he said that to, as I said, is like 6'5" or whatever, and you wouldn't mess with in 100 years. And went, "No, you're not." But that's the kind of shit that happens kind of regularly. And this is in such a small community where we're not being competitive with each other. We're not trying to outdo each other in any sort of way. It's just a case of like, that's just what life is. And it's incredibly odd to me that this is just,
it's normal now.
that especially that we're this deep in to online fame, or however you want to call it, existing.
Yeah.
And we still don't really know how to deal with this shit.
No, of course not.
You know?
And like you say, like it is surprising. It isn't surprising that it's not happened to you, for example, but like it could very happily. Like not happen.
I mean, look, I try to be as nice to everyone as possible.
Yeah.
And most of the people I take the piss.
It's loads of people off.
Yeah, but they just mostly call me a dickhead. They're not going to come and swing for me.
Sure.
The problem is most of the people who would swing for me aren't West Ham fans. They're just people who come into the chat to be trolls and whatever. But like, there's been a couple, and I'm very aware of it.
Yeah.
And I'm not willing to take the 2 in 60,000 chance or whatever it is.
Sure. And then at that point, you kind of are like, well, what do you do? Do you need to buy a bodyguard? Do you need to hire a bodyguard, or do you need to?
No, I just hang around with the guy who's 6'5", like I said, who will always have my back. I just hang around with Nikki, and it's fine. But like, I think there's like it is weird. It is really, really weird. And then I think like I've been to games with people who are legit online celebrities, not like me. I'm talking about like they would get recognized anywhere they went in the country, in the world, right?
Sure.
Like, maybe not in the world, but in the
Maybe
country
not.
certainly. Like
Yeah.
I've been to games with people like that,
Okay.
and it did kind of open my eyes just how many times they were stopped.
Yeah.
Like in the 5-minute walk from where we have our drinks to getting into the stadium, and it really is only 5 minutes.
Yeah.
20 times. Like, and it did sort of open my eyes to what that kind of thing is like. And we sort of had this conversation before, Adam, when we were speaking about like people like KSI or Stormzy going for drinks and stuff. And like in that tiny space of just from there to Granite, it really is only a 5-minute walk. It being stopped like 20 times. Imagine that, but in like your everyday life. And then imagine that on top of that, and knowing that at any point, any of those people could actually genuinely hate your guts for no apparent reason, and are just going to stop you.
They could stab you or something. Like, this isn't real life, but it's in an anime called Agretsuko, where she becomes somewhat famous. One of the spoilers, one of the twists in and that is like right at the end. There's a guy who becomes obsessed with her and is like, you know, I hate what you've done to this music group that you're in. I'm gonna like just stab you, and like he like straight up just comes at her with a knife, which you know is shocking. Like, and it can just happen. It can just happen, you know. You just be like, oh shit. Like I'd be very surprised if, because you said like at West Ham games and stuff like that, someone could just come up to someone and swing for them, but like,
yeah,
it's not. It wouldn't be. It's not that big a step up for them to just like, I've got a knife, I'm gonna fucking stab him.
yeah. Unless they're going to the game, then good luck getting into the game.
I mean,
with
yeah,
a knife,
true,
but,
true.
although to be fair, with some of the pat downs at that stadium, but you know, like it goes. It's like when it's a low level, as Milgren is just saying, like as when it's low level, it's frustrating, it's annoying. But then when you have annoyed people for whatever reason, and it can be fucking petty, like some of the shit like Louis gone through, that's not something that Louis should be going through. Louis done nothing wrong, and yet somehow he's catching shit for it. You know, like
Right.
that's
So just
mad.
Just to give you an idea of the shit that's been going on, I now check every single link before I click on it. Every single one. Yeah, because like every time I look at a video that's been posted in a Discord, or anytime I see that, I copy the link and paste it, and then I particularly just study that link to make sure it's okay for me to click on it.
Sure. That's crazy though.
But like some of them are very easy to squat because you know they're just like Grabify links and stuff like that, so I can just so like those are easy to spot. But I have to check every time.
Because it could be a virus, or it could be.
Or it's just an IP grabber.
Yeah.
And it's like, lol, we have your IP now. Get DDoSed. Get DDoSed.
That's ridiculous.
It's mad. It's utterly mad.
Yeah,
and it sucks because ultimately we're all just trying to fucking love a thing.
that's the end of it, innit? It's like,
why do we need to have this
fucking
stress
game?
in our lives?
It's just a fucking game, man. Like it's not even that deep. It's just
Not
like,
that deep.
yeah, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I don't know. People piss me off a bit, guys. People piss me off sometimes, and I'm just like, Jesus, this is stupid as fuck. Like you get it on like, not that it's the same thing, but you get like people sort of like mouthing off on Twitter and shit, and it's just like, shut up, just shut up. What's the fucking point? What are you doing? Why are you like this? Go see a doctor, maybe.
Especially when another guy that I knew that got doxed by the same person. I had that same person talking to a girl that he was talking to on Instagram.
Oh. It's just
people are losers, is what we're saying.
It's just fucking. It's just fucked up. It's genuinely really fucked up. And like the fact that they don't seem to have any sympathy.
The worst part is that most of the people doing this are just kids, really. Like they're all like 16, 17, 18, and that's kind of a bit of an issue with the Destiny 2 speedrunning community, is that the people involved in it are, for the most part, are really young.
Really.
And they're also the ones that are really good at the game too. It's just
I mean, that's typically how it goes, because they've got more time and more like. I mean, they're younger, so they're like.
Yeah, but it's like
they've got better hand-eye coordination.
If I went to me mum, right, at like maybe 15, and asked, buy gaming PC, please, she'd fucking slap me.
I mean, that's also a thing, but like I think times have changed a little bit since when we were young and stuff.
Oh, I know so many kids getting like gaming PCs now. It's insane.
I would never like literally if I'd have asked my mum for a gaming PC, she would have said no, fuck off.
My cousin, who's like 11, has an 800 quid gaming PC.
And we had games consoles. We had PS2 in our front room.
Yo, and that was enough of a fight to get one of those as it is.
Yeah, like legit, like, and with phones and stuff like that. Like, I'm showing my fucking age here, but like, I had to get a phone. I got a phone when I was in secondary school, and the only reason I got a phone was because my mum was like, right, you're the next town over. You're like taking buses and stuff to get to school. So I want you to have a phone just in case you.
That was a bit similar for me as well. I think I might have been slightly younger, but it was a very similar time for me as well.
Like you're going to a different town. I want you to have a phone in case of
but
emergency.
now
everyone has a phone.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, parents buy kids smartphones now just because they can play games on it or something.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just-
like that was never even a thing. Like I could play Snake on my fucking phone,
I mean, yeah.
but I didn't buy a phone for Snake. I've got a Game Boy.
Remember when you could have games and there was like 5 games and one of them was like Snake, or you get like you get Sudoku, or you know.
You could, yeah. There's a bunch of stuff, but like, it baffles me now that like kids just have access to phones, like just from the fucking day they're born. It's just like, here's a phone, man. Here's a phone.
Fresh out the womb.
Here's a phone. You get your electron. Yeah, when fresh out the womb, they pop out. Doctor goes, here's your phone. Here's your ID.
Has it got where? Has it got Angry Birds on it? Where?
No, it's got Minecraft though. You're fine.
Angry Birds bangs though. To be fair,
You
Oh,
big
yeah,
fan of
actually-
Angry Birds?
I love that.
Game's
good, man.
It was okay. It was okay. Did you like
Yeah.
the Bad Piggies as well?
I did not play Bad Piggies.
I remember playing Bad Piggies for a bit.
What was so bad about the pigs, like in Angry Birds? Because for the most part, they didn't do anything. They just stayed there and let you attack them.
Mm.
Like, what was the big issue with the pigs? They just took a beat. You just beat them up for seemingly no apparent reason. Oh, maybe they like took an egg or something. I don't know.
Oh, they took the egg. They took the eggs, didn't they?
Yeah, I remember.
That is the thing, though, isn't it? Like, because kids have phones now as well. They just aren't off them. Like, you know, like we're the same. I'm exactly the same. Like, I'm never like off my phone. I could probably, if my phone's in my pocket, which it's not, it's probably charging on my bed somewhere. I could probably tell you how long I spend on my phone. It's probably like in the hundreds of hours a fucking month or week or whatever. But like, I'm never off my phone either, but kids are never off their phones, and it's like, I didn't have that option when I was a kid, you know. I didn't have the option to be always on my phone. Not that I want it, but I think that it becomes like an issue, right? It becomes like a societal issue that people are just like, okay, I need mobile phones now.
I mean, yeah. Well, it's just because phones are useful.
Phones are useful. I'm not going to say
They
they're
just
not,
happen. They just happen to have a shit ton of other things that are unuseful.
but like what? What's not useful?
Fucking calculator. No, like Twitter and Facebook and anything really. Like the phones are
Sure.
useful because you can contact people in an emergency at any point, and that's the Trojan horse. And then you get past the Trojan horse, and then you have 15 million free-to-play games that you can spend any number of hours on.
True.
You can play Alphabet 2 non-stop for the rest of your life. You know,
Look,
it's like,
Alphabet's great though.
Alphabet's fucking excellent, but you know what I mean.
I do. I know you mean we should play Alphabet.
That's where I was getting at. Yeah.
I thought that was where you were going. We should play more Alphabet. Yeah, but we never had that. Actually, we never had that option. I guess we'd never had that option anyway. Like, you may have had that option in school. I don't know. I didn't. You know, I couldn't.
By college, I had an iPhone, but
By college, I had. Oh, I didn't. To be fair, by college, smartphones probably didn't even exist by the time I went to college, because I'm old. But I had a phone, but like, what was I doing? Not doing anything with it. Texting people in class, maybe.
yeah.
Cost money.
I mean, I had that in school, but by college, I did have an iPhone by college.
I don't even remember when I got my first smartphone. To be fair, I think it may have.
It did cost money to text people. I remember that.
Yeah, it cost money to text people. I didn't have that much money. I remember getting a phone on Virgin Media because it had 3p texts. It's like, oh, 3p text is good.
Wow, we were exploited. Oh my god.
Imagine now if you buy a phone and they go, you got to pay 3p for your text. You'd be fucking outraged, wouldn't you?
It'd be a war. Well. I think the only reason they don't do it anymore because programs like WhatsApp and Facebook now exist.
I mean, true.
That was a big changer. I remember when you used to have to pay to get WhatsApp. WhatsApp was like
Really?
£1 back in the day to get it.
Really, I didn't know that. I'd never seen that.
When I first got an iPhone in sixth form, I remember everyone was like, "Oh, everyone talk on WhatsApp, blah blah blah." Everyone talk on WhatsApp, and I was like, "Why? You have to pay to get
pay, yeah.
WhatsApp."
That's crazy. I always use fucking Messenger now anyway, because Messenger's just easy. Even though I kind of hate it because it's connected to Facebook. It's so easy.
Yeah, for me, Facebook. I want to bid it all off. I just want to live in my bubble on Discord now.
Mm.
I always find that fun, like the Facebook thing. I know people talk about Facebook and Twitter because I spend a lot of time on Twitter. A lot of people seem to think Twitter is like really toxic and stuff, but I think Facebook's just so much worse. Just 100%.
I think they're both trash.
I
agree with you.
I agree.
I think I would say, I think Facebook is worse.
I think
but-
Facebook's
Yeah,
a lot
but
worse.
the problem with Facebook is I feel like on Twitter you can't have a conflicting opinion with anybody else, but I feel like for the most part, like a lot of the advocating is more of a left wing nature, where on Facebook it's just a bunch of right wing dads called Keith.
Hey.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't even break it down in terms of left and right. I would break it down in terms of age. You know?
Age is the what my thing is. Like on Twitter you can have a fight with someone and then it doesn't matter because you'll never see him again. On Facebook you'll have a fight with someone about racism.
I don't get why that's enjoyable for people though. Like it's just
It's not
Well,
it's
no,
not
because
enjoyable.
I don't know if it's an enjoyment thing. I think it's just
The difference is it's not your uncle fucking Fred who's gone off about how all black people should be killed.
Yeah, and then you've got to see him at.
And you've got to see him later, and you're fucking this guy. Like
you're like, Fred, please.
Yeah. Like that's the difference between Facebook and Twitter for me is that like someone can go off about like whatever racist shit they want on Twitter, and I do not give a shit because I don't know this person, and I can ignore
I suppose
that
it's a bit
shit.
weird for me because I have no issue with like completely excommunicating family members and stuff like that. That's not really an issue for me. It's just something that I'll do.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I don't really.
I
talk to
speak
many
like
family members anyway, but
when I speak to, like, when I'm really lucky in that my immediate close family are all the best human beings. like they're all so good, and like when I talk to people who have family members who aren't, I'm like, yeah, that sounds like shit, mate.
the other thing that gets me is about Facebook is that it's not anonymous. So
Yeah,
a
I
lot of
think that's
people
a
on
big thing.
Twitter say shit because they're anonymous and they don't they know.
I don't.
that
Yeah,
they're
but
saying
Twitter's
shit.
not that anonymous though.
It can be pretty anonymous. I mean, not to the point where like you can obviously find out who everyone is if you fucking like Trojan Horse and shit. But like, there are people on Twitter who don't have their name, face, address, place of birth, whatever. Like, don't have anything on display. Whereas on Facebook, you literally can't be that. You can't do that. Otherwise, they don't let you be on Facebook anymore. I don't think. And like, you've just got a bunch of people called fucking Dorothy who are having a pop it. Like you can see these people. These people are real. They exist, and they're like actually straight up just awful, having awful opinions online about how like Prince Andrew didn't do anything wrong or whatever.
And I think there's a level of like, I think there's a level of online media literacy that young people have compared to old people.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a harsh way, old people. I just mean in a sort of
it's
being honest about.
It's a thing that happens, isn't it? When you grow up with a thing, you learn that thing easier.
Old people dumb. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, old people.
Yeah, a little bit. But yeah, I think when you congregate and you sort of broad slap it, and it is quite accurate. The young people on Twitter and older people on Facebook, and that's not to say neither of them aren't shit, because they both are truly shit.
No, they are. They're not good.
At least one of them also, by and large, one of them are voting age, and the other one aren't. It's also a slight issue there, but still, yeah.
Yeah, true. Have liquid in my face.
It's
in
a
your
thing,
face.
and it's shite.
Oh
social media
God!
sucks. Yeah.
Don't we just bloody hate people, man?
Again, I think what we've boiled down here quite succinctly is that people are shit.
People are a little bit not great. Yeah.
People are, and I mean this in the most honest way, the worst.
Sounds about right. So I think we're gonna cut it a bit short today. Sorry about that. We've just not got loads of time on. We've got stuff that we need to do. But we will be back next week. We'll be back tomorrow. I believe we're doing Jackbox Sunday.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, we are.
Yeah, so you can come and join us on Twitch/sometimes video games. Play some Jackbox with us.
At what time?
Yeah.
8:30.
Okay. Okay.
8:30 p.m. UK time.
Sunday,
Come get
8:30
involved.
UP.
Come get involved. It'll be nice and fun. And then we've got some other stuff going on throughout the week. We're probably going to finish off I Am Fish at some point.
Come on, ladies. Come on,
Yep.
ladies. I am fish.
But how does it control?
Better than I Am Bread.
Sure.
I mean, you can choose to have I Am Bread controls if you want.
Yeah, but are they tight?
Yeah, but
No.
we're on the level at the moment where Adam's really struggling because he's never flown a plane in GTA.
I think I have, but also I probably I don't remember when that was. I did play GTA 5, just fucking ages ago.
Yeah, it's
Probably
flying
when
a
it came
plane
out
in
the year
GTA
4 BC.
Yeah.
Flying a plane in GTA 5 is one of the most difficult things in video games for the first time you do it.
Yeah. To be fair, I got used to the flying as we went on. I just ended up also not being too used to the
Yeah, it happens.
platforming.
I need to play that game at some point.
It's good. Iron Fish is enjoyable. It's enjoyable.
I love the goldfish is the cutest.
Goldfish is cool. I thought you liked the piranha.
No, you know, yeah, no, the piranha's my favorite.
Yeah. But the goldfish
But the
is
goldfish is the cutest.
Pufferfish is good.
I do. I like all of them. I think the most boring one is the flying fish. But the weird one with the flying fish is that it has the most interesting campaign.
True. It does.
Do you not
have
think? Do you not think it has the most interesting campaign?
I think so. You know, there's that one.
Well, we haven't played the piranha yet. That
No,
could
we
be really
haven't.
interesting.
We haven't. Hopefully it's good.
I am intrigued, though. Call me intrigued. I am intrigued.
It's a good one. All right. Thank you, everyone who's been hanging about and listening and enjoying the podcast. Come join us Sunday, sometimes video games, on Twitch at 8:30 to play some Jackbox. Other than that, we'll see you next time. Bye.
I guess. Bye
See ya.
bye.